Hi, my name is Kate Hernandez, and I'm going to be talking about the mass relationships lab that we had to do. So, the first thing that I wanted to talk about was how the website that they gave us was to basically balance the chemical equations that they all wanted us to do, which was the CH4, I believe the C2H6, the C3H8, and the CXHY. And all four of these equations were supposed to be balanced. And I just want to talk about the first one and then elaborate on the rest. So the first one, I know it was the CH4, and that one we would have to balance it, and then it was methane. So we would have to put 10 grams of methane into the whole reaction, and then once the reaction started, the simulation will burn the gas, which was in the website. So add 10 grams of methane, and also I think it had the joules right next to it. So I guess we were supposed to write down the data, which was the grams and the joules, and that was the initial result for the procedure. That was ICE, which ICE stands for initial amount, change amount, and then ending amount. So after those three were processed, we would start off with, so for the not joules, moles. So for the moles, for the first reaction, it was, I believe, 0.62 moles. So that was the initial, and then once the whole process came out to be, the moles changed. So the ending amount of moles was, for I think H2O, for the whole combination of the CH4, it was 1.24, and then it changed for CO2 to be 0.62. So the whole relationship between that changed throughout the process. So we would also have to determine the interpretation of it, and so why oxygen was used, how much of oxygen was used, the what was the other one? Oh, the reaction in the container, why those two elements were processed through, and like what was like the significance of everything, so the process could become that. And so we saw that why it was joules, why it was moles and why it was grams, and then the process throughout. And basically, we also had to compare, and then compare the balanced equations and the data tables to each one. And so once that was done, I got the hang of it, and then we just continued doing the process of each one, which was the C2H6, and then the H3H8. So it was the same process as the first one for the CH4. It was the exact same thing. Balance the equation, process it through with the containers, and then also get your information. And then the last one was a bit different because that reaction didn't have any numbers, so the element was unknown. So it was just CXHY. So we would have to process it, and then once we processed it, we got the element, and then I guess with that we were supposed to determine what kind of element it was. And then for the final process that it was determine the possible values for x and y, and then we balanced the equation using the resulting the hydrocarbon. So that's what I did. I balanced it and then got my answer. And so I will be submitting this with everything, and that's it. Thank you.